When friends from BSV with you approached me, first informing me of a very useful website, and when I went and saw that website, I was really very happy because they embraced academics as a priority. In this entire long career in the field of academics and allieds, I have seen many companies and many platforms where people approach. Most of the times the approach is very commercial. But when there is academics in it, I as a teacher immediately get attracted. And the first thing they asked me was, how did you begin this journey in the field of women's health and infertility or fertility? Well, I had attended a lecture as an undergraduate student of a faculty who was visiting professor in Medical College, Baroda. And when I heard him and I saw the depth of his in the subject, I realized that if I want to go deep in the subject, I will have to do post-graduation. Therefore, went in for post-graduation. Clinical topic was my natural attraction. Therefore, obstetrics and gynecology, and one very strong burning point which did not deter me from accepting obstetrics and gynecology was my ma told me that, beta, the pain in labor is excruciating. And when your mother tells, that pain becomes infinitesimally more excruciating. And my journey in obstetrics and gynecology began, and then painless labor and so many things came in. What are the challenges I faced and how did I overcome? Challenge of gender was first in some areas. As a male in a by and large conservative Gujarat, I faced it. Yes, many times it still happens that the woman is looking at me, because me and my wife, we practice together and we have the common consulting. Many times they are looking at me, but they expect my wife to examine. So that is fine. I was very comfortable. There is no ego problem, and I am very comfortable with, because I have come from this society, I understand. But bigger challenges which I faced were challenges of dynamism. In a society, in a community, in a group where people are static, being dynamic is a curse. People do not expect you to be dynamic. People want you to trudge along the beaten path. But that was not acceptable to me, because my parents taught me, chile chile gaadi chale, chile chale kaput, chile chile nau chale, ghoda si saput. People who walk on the beaten track are trains, or individuals and things are trains. And those who don't have anything in life, kaputs. But horses, lions, and bold people, dynamic people, don't walk on beaten path. And that became a challenge for me. Challenge of determination. There were so many odds to be faced. Working at a government institution where resources were not flowing in as they were flowing in today. Challenge of positivity being passed off as arrogance. When you are not able to find any fault with a particular person, you start shifting the goalposts, and therefore you find a fault. Oh, he is arrogant. You can't say that he is so positive, he is so dynamic. You will say he is arrogant. Grust hai. Insult kar deta hai. It is not an insult. It is actually positive. Oh, why are you talking like this? We are not born to fail. And that became a challenge. Yes, it did. In this challenge, how did I grow? I don't know how I grew, because as the challenge became denser, I became more and more strong. Probably reading and utterances like this one, which turned out to be a beacon for him. And that is, Show me one lamp on the surface of this earth which got extinguished. Show me one lamp on the surface of this earth which got extinguished because the darkness was intense. None. मुझे एक तो दिया दिखाइए, वो इसलिए बुझ गया क्योंकि रात्रि का अंधकार बहुत गाढ़ा था. एक भी नहीं. जैसे अंधकार गाढ़ा होता जाता है, वो दिए की ज्योत ज्यादा प्रदीप्त होती है. As the darkness became intense, the light became stronger, and that was a very strong inspiration for me. Also, so many books that I read, lectures that I heard, all that went together to get the final product. My parents' teaching, service to humanity at all costs, that was a great leading light for me during my years in residency, during my years in medical college, and even then after. So the influence of parents was great. What did you do to continue this learning and gain more knowledge? Continued reading, continued experimenting, continued researching. On the next day of my passing MD, when I was adjudged as the best candidate, and the examiner has written in his result, the external examiner, that there is no system of giving a gold medal in MD obstetrics and gynecology in Baroda. At that time there was no system. But if it is instituted in retrospect, it should be given to roll number 17, and mine was roll number 17. I have read this. Therefore, but on the next day of my MD exam, I was sitting in the library. I was not rejoicing anywhere or dancing anywhere. What new has come? Because that 1.5 months of preparation for MD exam was all related to the subject and confined. But what new things happened in that 1.5 months, I had to catch on. And that spirit continued. Visiting so many national and international organizations, my experience at Tata Memorial Cancer Hospital, my experience at Liverpool Hospital in Sydney, my experience at London, my experience at so many places, whatever I learned there, whatever I saw there, whatever I did there and had to do there because the system was such, I brought here and put that into practice in the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology and even at Medical College. One very important point, what are the skill set and mindsets that have helped them in their journey? Skills of communication, that was of great help to me. Skills of going deep in the subject of any problem whatsoever. I was working in an institution, the building of which was 100+ years old. And status quo was a rule, and status quo is a rule everywhere. But that was not acceptable to me. This is what helped me. The status quo is not acceptable. To disrupt what is wrong, reinforce what is right. And that building was not acceptable to me, where there were stinking latrines, overflowing plumbing systems, poorly lit, and probably potentially infected infrastructure. Not acceptable. Therefore, I went into the problems, talked with many people, and ultimately, as it is said, that when the universe decides to do something good, it conspires in such a way that you are able to do it. I got 2 excellent people as the medical superintendent and the dean of the medical college. Both of them who helped me in getting an entire new department with completely on a department building which is completely new. People from Baroda know as Chainani Prasruti Guru, that was built on donations. The government helped strategically. And that is what is not accepting status quo. And that skill set helped me in a great way. What was the impact? What impact they wished to make in the society, a community, through their journey, any learnings they want to share with the aspiring healthcare professionals. I have already done it. Swami Vivekananda has said at one place, your name is not important. your work is important. I have left so many legacies behind which my students have picked up, my children have picked up, my patients have picked up, and that is spreading. My name doesn't come anywhere. What I have taught, gone all over the country and taught, somewhere in Guwahati or somewhere in Nagarcoil, that is being practiced, and that patient is saved, problem is solved, and that gives me a happiness. I may not know, I will just not know where somewhere is helped. That is how the spread, the incense stick has gone away, but the fragrance continues. And that was always my aim. And my job is done. My students are my ambassadors. They have picked up my learning, my teachings, and they are practicing. That's how it spreads. Lest one person can do how much? Therefore, I always felt that and practiced it. And at the end, I had no regrets when I retired. And even today, I have no regrets. That the message was mine was. And my aim was, rather than message. Message is my work. But my aim was, rahe na rahe hum, mehka karenge, banke kali, banke sada, baage wafa. I may be alive, I may not be alive. But I will continue to spread that fragrance in the entire garden of the world, by becoming a flower or becoming a bloom. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.